Murdoch. I'm coming to get you.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last? I lied.
Get off my plane.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
John, I'm not gonna shoot you between the eyes. Shoot you between the balls.
The disease, but I'm the cure.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent.
There can be only one.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Yippee-ki-yay. I'm going to kill them all, sir.
Good evening, and welcome back to Give Me Back My Action Movie. I am your host tonight, Pete, because the movie this week fell on my name. It is the month of chaos. We spun the wheel of pain, and it fell solidly on this guy's name. And what, by chance, did I pick for this week? I'll tell you in just a minute. Charlie is with us tonight. Hello, Charlie. How you doing tonight, bud? How much trouble am I in tonight?
I'm a little better than last week.
I was thinking that we might have a new rating system.
Not
after this
that bad. Not
That's what I said.
that good.
I'll talk to you a little bit about that in a minute. And with us, who is very likely going to take over, or at least that's what I've been led to believe, take over this and all podcasts all over the world. It is my bestie BFF podcaster, Anna. How are you tonight? Yes.
Oh, I'm okay. I would
Ouch.
prefer to go back to last week. But I'm here, and what you're saying, Pete? We're watching a movie tonight. That's how I feel.
Watching a movie,
We're watching a
full-length
movie.
almost 2 hours long.
Pete, come on.
That's the Takashi Miike signature.
That is
though.
Takashi Miike, right? And so just like Anna's saying, we are watching a Takashi Miike film. I think this might be the first one we've done here on Give Me Back Action and Horror.
Oh,
Yep.
nice.
It's we
vetoed
Ichi the Killer.
Yeah, we vetoed.
Yeah, I was ready to pick
Ichi's.
that one, and then I watched like the first 20 minutes, and I went, nope.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
nope,
you didn't
nope,
pick
nope,
it.
Nope.
I struggled with that.
Yeah, it's that's a rough one. I must have erased that from my brain, that scene, and like the rest of the movie is still really weird and troubling.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's
but
the.
that was-
It's
that was
like
too
it does.
much.
It never lets up. It's just all, and especially for the women. Like the
Mhm.
women get the shit into the stick
Yeah.
in that movie.
It's bad. So watch Ichi the Killer at your own risk.
Yes.
At your own risk.
Yeah.
But anyway, tonight, again, Takashi Miike is directing this one from 2015. It is called Yakuza Apocalypse. It is a movie, ladies and gents. It's I'm pretty sure there is no trailer for this that Charlie will play because it's all in Japanese.
I
Yeah.
tried my hardest. Dude, I found
Yeah.
it in German. I couldn't find it in English. How's that for some shit?
Yakuza Frankenstein is what.
Hell Yakuza. I have no idea. There was no English dub, no nothing. So, Pete, you had a good run,
I did.
but no trailer.
I did no trailer. I did real good for about a year,
Almost a year.
almost. a year.
You've been doing really good.
Yeah.
Now we restart the
Yeah,
sign.
yeah, I got-
Zero Pete picks since it's
Zero
no since a
days
trailer.
Since no
Since it-
English.
So with that, no trailer. Sorry, folks. Go watch it on YouTube. It's that will give you a taste of what you're about to get into. And if you know,
Yes
Yeah.
and no. If you watch the trailer, you're still going to be fucking confused.
Yep.
And you're going to watch the movie and still be
Still
fucking
confused.
confused.
Yeah.
I assume this is both of your first time watches.
Mhm.
Oh, I go to sleep to this every night, Pete. I just always pop this on.
It's just like a warm blanket.
Jackie
isn't
and I cuddle up together,
Aw.
pop on a little Yakuza Apocalypse, and drift
You get
off into,
You get a
slumber.
frog. You get a frog furry at the end. Yeah.
Sure, we'll call it that. I called it a battle toad.
Battle
so,
toad?
yeah.
That was
Hashtag not my battle toad.
Not my
such
battle.
a what the fuck moment.
It sure is. Yeah. This is my third or fourth watch. I was going through Miike's catalog, the ones I could get easily. Like I didn't buy anything, but library and YouTube, not YouTube even. Like you can find a
Tubi
lot of
had
his
a lot.
stuff online,
Yeah.
streaming, and he is a very unique director. He's had something like, wait, I got it up right here. Since he started directing in like 1991, was it? He's got 120 directorial credits. Now, some of
Yeah.
those include some television.
I took it as he's kind of like the Roger Corman over there.
He is, but he's
interesting.
doing the directing.
Yeah,
Corman's
he does. He does
stepped
everything.
back after a
Corman
while and
stepped
did all the
back, but
producing.
early Corman, just did everything. Even a Charles Band almost,
right?
Where you just kind of, here's my thing. Let's get another one. Here's another one. That's this guy. That's
Takashi
Miike.
He has a vision unlike any director I know.
I call it drugs.
Hyper violent, hyper stylized. Some of his more famous movies, probably everyone that is a genre fan would know Audition.
Yeah,
that's one of his most well-known movies.
That's a mainstream one that kind of got out, that broke out mainstream for him.
Yeah,
it's very much a kind of a good for her movie too. You can categorize it with those kind of films.
I've seen a lot of what he does. If he ever pops up on a movie, I usually just pop it in. One that I like that Marley might like, Anna, is called, it's 2005, I think. It was The Great Yokai War. It was a soft reboot of the original Dai trilogy of yokai monsters, which was really hard to get till Arrow put a box set out. And they put that box set trilogy out and then included the Takashi Miike remake, reimagining, whatever. And it's full of all these wonderful practical effects.
Nice.
It's a PG-13 movie, but it's probably because it is a little, it's not bloody violent, but it's mean in areas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
we just covered a Takashi Miike movie on the Barrens that Marley ironically picked called As the Gods Will. And that one's kind of hard to find, but I big recommend. Like, we all liked it over there. Marley enjoyed it. She discovered it the same way she discovered Squid Game through a Roblox game that was kind of set up because there's like games in the movie and then you kind of play those on the Roblox game. So she suggested it and she watched it. And then once I looked it up, I was like, oh shit, Takashi Miike directed this. And that's like something totally different from Audition and Itchy and even this. So he kind of dips his toes in all kinds of different, subgenres within the genres.
Blade of the Immortal is one that I think Charlie would love if you haven't seen it already. 13 Assassins is another good one.
That's one I need to watch. I've wanted to watch 13 Assassins. I just haven't got around to seeing it yet.
That's a real good
because that's a remake too. So he remade that movie. So I'm interested in it.
And if you want to see something even weirder than this movie, Gozu. That movie is
no thank you.
I can't even describe the movie. I've seen it 3 times and I couldn't even tell you what happens in that movie.
I can't tell you what happens in this one, so I don't know how it works.
I'm just like I'm
boobs.
I'm lost in the Matrix like I was on that episode.
I did find out that Yokai War Miike just put out in 2023 Yokai Wars Guardians, and I think there's a Daimajin in it. And those of you who like the kaiju, I'm talking to you, Dan, over at Dissect That Film. This has a Daimajin in it, and I had never heard of it. This slipped through my fingers, and it's on Amazon Prime. I'm going to watch it tonight or tomorrow because I need that completion. Anyway, so here we are. Takashi Miike's Yakuza Apocalypse. I did find this at Half Price Books for like $3 and gotta have it.
Nice.
You overpaid.
So, like I said, Takashi Miike has a unique vision. You can't deny that this movie is beautifully shot. The gore is very, very good. The kung fu in it. This is a action horror, and some would call it a comedy because there are some laughable bits.
Like what the fuck? Like
But-
the fucking frogs and the guy with the beak.
Start to end, this is a what the fuck is going on movie, truly. So the movie starts with is a Yakuza family or family? Sure.
Gang.
Gang,
It's called a
whatever.
gang. Yeah.
The Yakuza gang that's actually they're like a governmental body. They're actually benevolent. They're not allowed to steal, or they of course collect money from the citizens, but they do have they have a big heart. It's a Yakuza clan with a big heart. They actually like their citizens, and the boss, what's his name? Genyo is he's the leader. He's an older fella, and the opening scene is him attacking another Yakuza clan and getting just
Fucked up.
shot. He's
Annihilated.
annihilated,
Yeah.
and keeps coming. And you're like, what the fuck is going on here? And then it goes to better times, and you see his right hand man sort of come up through the ranks. And this young man, his first name is Akira. He shares the same vision as Genyo does. He wants to be a benevolent Yakuza leader. Yeah, they're dealing in probably terrible things off the side, but they're taking care of families in the city and defending it from outsiders as well.
Yeah, that was the hardest thing. It was about halfway through the movie before it clicked with me what was going on with this particular, because we watch a lot of action movies, and to do see a lot of movies that involve the Yakuza. I mean, hell, we just did Punisher over on B Action,
Kill
Yakuza
Bill.
bad.
We just did that.
Kill Bill. So immediately going into this, okay, we're going to follow the worst of the worst of gangs. It's like their mob over there. But this one was different. He was an outlier, it felt like, as far as Yakuzas. He had his own little district.
Yep.
And that was his.
Sure.
These are my people. You pay me, but I'll take care of you. And it got really weird the way he takes care of them too, but it was odd. And about halfway through, I realized he's basically said, fuck all the other sects of Yakuza and other people that are in charge, and just made his own little empire right here.
That comes around later, and it's dropped here and there that he was part of a bigger community, a bigger clan, and then broke away. And I tend to think that he broke away when he became a vampire. Oops, spoilers. The boss is a vampire.
I know. I was like, what?
Yeah.
I didn't watch the trailer to this.
I didn't either.
I was like, because first it started off with, I'm like, this guy's badass. He's kicking ass. He reminded me so much of the guy that played the landlord's husband in Kung Fu Hustle. He had the same kind of haircut, mannerisms. I was like, is that the guy? He's not, but I was still okay with it. But I was digging on this guy, and then all of a sudden they get into the blood, and I'm like, why are we drinking? What is blood? What is going? Oh, fuck, he's a vampire. Holy shit! And then the movie just kind of snowballs from that. Like, Pete, I don't want us to walk through this because there's no way to walk through this movie because we're not going to make any sense whatsoever. I want to hit on some of
there are some downbeats I really want to point out, so that if our audience wants to watch this, maybe this will help a little bit. My number one warning, and I apologize, I should have told the both of you this movie is completely nonsensical. It moves from point A to point B, and it maintains a razor thin story plot that they just keep throwing shit at the wall, and some of it sticks and some of it goes away, some of it pops back up, and it's just all over the place. And my biggest recommendation is just watch it and have some fun with it. Don't try to make any sense of it, because it don't make no sense.
That would have been nice to know.
I'm so sorry.
I'm trying to be fair, because one of my biggest things I bitched about last week is story.
Yeah,
Terrifier didn't have a story that I could follow. Unfortunately, this one, I'm trying to watch it and I'm going, the fuck is going on? Like, Terrifier had a better story than this one, apparently, because I at least could
follow a little better.
I could somewhat follow it. Anna done fell over. She's on the
fell
floor.
out, y'all.
She's on the floor.
I'll take it. Take the compliment.
Because this one, I am catching bits and pieces of a lot of shit. There's a lot of stuff, too, that I feel like as... I'm going to say it like this, outsiders that I don't understand the culture and I don't understand references that went over my head. And then all of a sudden they start throwing in mythical creatures. Like, the only reason I know what a kappa is from fucking Ninja Turtles 3 when they kept calling them kappa. And this motherfucker's got a turtle shell. And I went, that's why they kept calling the Ninja Turtles kappa.
Flat spout in his head.
I was, but I just said that there's a Ninja Turtle in this movie with a beak that I don't know how that dude talked. I kept watching his mouth and I was just like, that is the most uncomfortable prosthetic. God. Like that guy better got paid good.
It literally looked like part of his mouth though. Like it did. It looked gnarly.
Like he was actually had it attached to his teeth somehow.
It moved with his mouth, and it looked abnormal. But and I'm guessing, and again, this is where I think there's some lore. I don't know. Apparently, kappas have a very, very bad stench because everyone covered their mouths and nose when he was around. He had these weird looking hands. He's still humanoid-ish, but a lot of other like weird features to him, and he just pops up out of fucking nowhere in this movie.
And twice, and you could have cut both of those scenes out and we would have the same movie.
You would have no issue whatsoever with it. You also have, like, I kind of got excited when the cloaked guy showed up with the coffin on his back.
Yeah, the priest. I think the priest and Mad Dog, whom we're going to talk about real quick here, I think they're part of the larger Yakuza that's trying to bring this clan back into the larger Yakuza community.
That's exactly what I picked up later. That was because he kept saying, we want you back in, and he kept rebuking them. But the second he showed up in town, number one, to go back to my Kung Fu Hustle, because I had that on my mind, because this was supposed to be a comedy, he reminds me of the two guys with the harps that would throw the weapons through the strings. But then I was also going, wait, is this like an anime that I don't know about? Like this is some cloaked fucking vampire hunter D looking character walking in, pulls out this plumbing fixture out of his coffin that I'm like, I think I pulled that out of a shower once. And and it did something to the vampire guy. And I'm like, I am missing so much. Like I normally don't need to be walked through a movie, but it usually means I have at least some sort of knowledge of what's going on. This one, I am like, the fuck is happening right now? Like straight up just confused. And it's even to the point, Pete, if you'd have even said, Charlie, don't worry about the story, just roll with it, I think I still would have been going, the fuck? What? Like, this is just ideas on screen shot beautifully. There's some blockbuster movies that aren't shot this well. Like, this guy can frame a shot, transition, the lighting is gorgeous. Like, dude, quit making movies and create movies, if that makes sense. Don't worry. Don't try to put any of your ideas on film. Just bring it to life on film, because he is masterful at that. Story-wise, no. I am lost 1000%. I loved the boss's second hand, which it turns out to be our main character we end up following. I forget what his name is in this. Akira, I'm thinking, or whatever.
The guy that pulls
his protege.
Yes, his
protege, the guy that
Kageyama Akira is his name.
Yeah, so
and they call him Kageyama throughout the movie. I went with their first names, not their last, because it's easier to say.
I'm looking at IMDb and it says Akira Kageyama, but Kageyama, that's fine. I like that guy. Like,
he's got a real Brotherhood of the Wolf look to him.
He has
he had a nice like
Mark Dacascos.
Mark Dacascos. He's got that sharp, thin face with that intense stare. Oh God, I
Uh-huh.
loved it. When some of those guys would attack him, he would look at them and he'd give them that animalistic.
He looked like the vampire from 30 Days of Night.
Yes.
The bald one running around.
Mm-hmm.
I kept going, why is this so familiar? Vampires. But
vampires.
I was like, he's got that look about him that I was like, okay, I'm down with the characters, how they looked, everything. Their acting is actually not, except for the Kappa, and you'll hear about more as it goes. But the main character's acting in this was great. A lot of soft talking at the beginning of this. It takes a little bit to get going, and there's no dub. And I really, really, really think the subtitles were missing some translation context, that they would pull up the actual word that they think it is. But I was like, the way they're talking, I don't think that's what they said. You know what I mean? Like the English translation didn't translate well.
Usually
to
the
storytelling.
subtitled version is a much more accurate than a dubbed version.
I agree, but I still think something got lost in translation
Maybe.
on a lot of things. Just
argue
to to English and Americanify it, whatever you want to call. Anna, you're being awful quiet over there. What's your thoughts so far into this as we get going?
Well, at the start of it, it just kind of felt like every other violent foreign Japanese film. Like I was like, okay, here we go. Gangs, they're going to be fighting.
It felt a lot like The Raid. That opener it felt like The Raid.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There was a slight little rape scene at the beginning that it was kind of a, 15, 20 second kind of thing.
It was brief. I apologize.
Oh, it's okay. You let us know. It's okay. And I think
did
you
I
mentioned
not say something whenever I got Pete's pick on the wheel and I go, oh God, tell me there's no rape in this. He's like,
he's like, I'm not sure. Yeah, he couldn't remember. So that's just kind of what I thought was going to happen for the rest of the movie. But then
it also wasn't titillating, and it immediately got justification.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But then once Boss died and we find out that he's a vampire, I was like, I was not expecting this twist. Like that just kind of got thrown in there. And once they put the vampire in the storyline, then they're like, okay, it doesn't matter what else we throw at it. It's going to stick because we can use the vampire excuse. And if there's vampires, that means there can be other mythical creatures and it'll just work.
Completely fair. That you nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
And then for the rest of the movie after that, like I gave it some time because I thought at first it was going to be like vampire stuff. And that was not it. I mean, it was basically like fighting. And then, there were some scenes where people got bit. We did get that with the civilians and stuff because Boss tells him, don't hurt the civilians. You have to learn to control yourself.
He's teaching him something without telling him what's going to happen.
Right.
And I did find that interesting because as it goes, you're realizing basically the protege is doing everything wrong.
Oh, yeah.
This entire movie. And Boss was teaching him not only to protect the civilians because you kind of need them to survive, but there's a reason we need them to survive. And I was like, looking back, I go, there is some clever writing in this, but it's not till you're done and you're at that point you're ruined. You're like, I'm not going to watch this again.
Yeah.
Especially that ending.
Oh God. Yeah. I'm saving that.
Yeah,
we'll get to the end towards the end because
exactly.
I have a lot to say about the end of this movie.
I don't know why.
But Anna, you nailed it right there.
You did.
Because I'm like, the second you involve supernatural, nothing matters anymore. I also have to point out that as an action fan, when you try to hide Mad Dog in glasses and nerd outfit, and I already know who the fuck that is, that I'm going to be like, something's getting ready to happen because that's fucking Mad Dog. Okay. That's Al Leong for 2025 right there,
that's the
sir.
younger version of Al Leong.
Yes. And I love that. I mean, from the Raid 1 and 2, because he got recast in the role in part 2 because he dies in part 1. He's in John Wick 3 because he's one of the twins that beat the shit out of John to a draw, which was amazing. But I see him in glasses, a backpack, like a Revenge of the Nerd style.
Yeah, he's got a flannel on, and
flannel button up,
and
I'm like, he walks up to the boss during this intense stare down. I swear he did, but it was this intense stare down, and here goes fucking Mad Dog walking up, and I went, "Oh, some shit's getting ready to happen." And I love that it was more or less like, "Oh, the audience isn't going to know this unsuspecting guy is going to cause some shit." I'm like, "No."
I did. First time I saw this, I did not recognize that guy.
I don't know. I didn't know.
I've only seen the raid the once for the show. Charlie, it was a year ago or so.
Oh yeah.
So I didn't know who this cat was, and he snuck up behind the boss and says, "Hey, am I on the way to Akihabara or something like that?" And
then just starts beating the shit out of boss.
Wham, 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 wham. And I about jumped out of my seat the first time going, that little shit is, he's good.
I knew who it was immediately. It didn't work on me. I was calling it out. I believe I even said something to Jackie. I'm like, it's Mad Dog. I was like, it's the guy from the raid. I'm like, that dude's fucking awesome.
He's
and
fast.
He
that
fights
guy's so fast.
And I'm kind of still in the movie at that point. And then when he kills boss by like twisting his head off, I was like, several turns, all the way around,
and then lifts it off his shoulders and just kind of tosses it aside. It's great.
And I was like, okay, boss is a vampire. This weird Van Helsing looking motherfucker is part of something that the boss was part of. So Mad Dog has to be like a powerful being too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, come to find out, he's not. He's just a regular dude till the end of the movie. And I'm like, so you can't there's no consistency on who is strong and how strong they are. Even our Kajiyama is supposed to get the boss's power because the boss's head bites him to transfer the virus or the vampirism to him. But we find out, and this is when I really lost my shit, Pete. Not only do they get bit and turn into vampires, they're not just vampires, Pete. What are they, Pete?
They're Yakuza vampires.
They're Yakuza vampires.
Of course they are. What else would they be?
I had no words. I went, what? Like this guy got bit, and I know that they threw the little line earlier that everyone's giving him shit that he hasn't gotten the tattoo. It's a rite of passage.
My skin is sensitive.
I was like, wow, what a wussy way to not get a tattoo.
Yeah, that's a big old wiener comment.
My
skin is sensitive.
I can't explain it. It's insensitive. But you get bit by a fucking Yakuza vampire boss. Boom. Tattoo appears on your back.
Yep.
And lightning flashes and a face appears over the what do you call it? Whatever you call the picture of the samurai on there. I want to say it's like a kaji,
okay.
Something like that. Anyway, like it's a normal human face, but it shows a vampire, which foreshadowing the end of the fucking movie. I lost it, and I was like, okay, maybe it's because he's the boss. He had special vampire powers. Nope. Anybody that gets bit in this movie becomes Yakuza vampire.
And fast. Like, it doesn't take much time for them to turn, although as Kageyama is going through the movie, he's developing, and they even say later on in the movie, like, he's awakening, which means he's becoming more powerful.
Because he was bitten by the boss. I got.
So it's a direct...
it was taking time and story developing. He has like his own like Igor that's helping him through the movie that was feeding the boss. I've been trying to wrap my head around the guys crocheting in the basement.
They were food for the boss, but why are they in the basement crocheting?
I have a theory.
Well, if you're going to keep hostages, you might as well put them to work doing something.
That's right.
Well, see, I was thinking real hard about this because they dropped this little nugget that our civilians, our people, their innocents, their blood is sweet. They are the tastiest. It's addictive.
Yeah.
Yakuza that
Taste-
aren't vampires taste bad, real bad. Don't want to eat Yakuza. I'm like, well, that's some convenient planning for the end of the movie. So I was like, why was the boss feeding on prisoners in this little restaurant? And it dawned on me. He is reforming Yakuza to be good and innocent so they taste good. So the one guy he stomps their feet when they do something wrong, and that one guy, he finally like clicks with him to turn. It was like the Christian turn the other cheek. This was, I present my right foot, you bruise it, I will now present my left foot. And because he did that, it was their way of being, oh, you're reformed. And they immediately took him back here, and we know what he did because we heard gushy, ooey gooey sounds. And I was like, he's making his own food. He's taking the bad so he doesn't have to kill his civilians or civilians that were bad, in life, reforming them, crocheting, Demolition Man. That's immediately where I went. I'm a fucking seamstress. And once they reform, their blood tastes good and he can feed on the good blood. Pete, I didn't want to get that fucking deep in this movie, okay?
I'm glad you figured it out because I sure as fuck didn't.
No, I do not think very hard about this movie at all. It's just a lot of fun.
My brain didn't know what else to do. I was watching this movie and it's like, I don't know how to feel. It's just
cannot compute.
Yes. I an error 404 running across my brain.
That's how I felt.
Most of this movie.
Except mine were green letters and they were going down like the Matrix. Error 404, error 404. Just shorted out.
It wasn't ones and zeros. It was just zeros.
Yeah.
It was one of the
zeros going down.
It was one of the biggest what the fucks for you, Anna. Like, what did you just say that with your mouth open going, what, huh?
The damn frog. The
frog,
guy in the frog costume. I was like... At that point, I really just could not take it seriously. And I wish I had gone into it knowing not to take it serious from the jump. But because of the way it started and me not watching the trailer, it just turned into a totally different movie and one that I just did not understand. And it was really hard for me to pay attention to. Like, I paused it a bunch. I'm not going to lie. But the damn frog showed up. And then once they finally kick his ass enough and get him out of the suit, not only is he like have a man's body, but he's got another frog head that's kind of similar to the beak guy we're talking about. And he's got like
Kermit.
Yeah.
It looked like Kermit the Frog's fucking head on this dude.
Yeah, and hands, and then a human body with an like white tape, an X over his belly button.
Yeah,
King Hippo.
King Hippo, right?
King Hippo from Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
And
guess what? Guess what? Same weakness.
Yep.
You remember how you beat King Hippo? You hit him in the belly and you punch him in the mouth. This guy, you do basically the same thing. And that's how you beat him.
They're kicking each other's ass for what seems like forever.
Yeah, it's a long
This fight's way long.
And then all it takes is to rip that tape off. And he's like destroyed.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this movie? What is happening?
And I don't know if we've explained this yet. We've said frog costume.
Yeah.
It looks like a bad middle AAA baseball's mascot.
It's
like a little league. Like some little league
it's
costume.
The New Orleans tadpoles. And
there you go.
Yeah, you'll watch the little
fuzzy frog.
The
mascot.
TikToks where there's like some guy in a little panda suit and another suit, and they're hitting each other with bats, and they're running around a mall. It's that.
It's that.
This guy, and they do that. This one gets a bat. It beats the shit out of the prisoners in the basement for whatever reason.
He's mad about something.
Pete, you want to know what my what the fuck moment was?
I was going to ask. I wasn't going to let you slip by. Oh boy.
Lady Boss's fucking head
her
blowing pus out her goddamn ear.
That was fucking gross.
It was amazingly gross, and I have no idea what that was all about. I got nothing.
No clue.
That one scene though, when her ass came to that room, she keeps saying, "I hear dripping,"
Yeah.
and they keep telling her like, "No, you're not hearing anything. It's okay." Well, then later on, she comes upstairs where they're at, and she's like peeking one-eyed around that corner of that door. That was creepy as shit. I was like, this bitch is weird.
It's like they tried for creepy, but I was also going, this is supposed to be comedy. She's not hiding. The door is in the middle of, it's like a 2-door thing, and only one of the doors are over. Yeah. They can see her this whole time.
She pokes a hole in the paper.
She pokes a hole in the paper so she can see through it, but everyone's staring at her like, bitch, we can see till she closes the other door. This is the paper door from Punisher all over again. Right. But I was just like, because she talks about this dripping, and I was like, oh, maybe they're like bosses, because I thought she turncoated on the boss. Like she was working with the Kappa and the Van Helsing dude. And I kind of think she was, because they're all together later.
A couple of points, yeah.
So I was like, oh, she's like cursed. And she's hearing this like drip, but then everyone else can hear it. And they drag this out for like 15 minutes in this movie. And then she like dips her head sideways and pus falls out. But that's not the part. It's the part when the other dude walks up beside her going, "You okay, boss?" And it fucking air cannons white shit on his face.
Shoo.
I was like, the fuck was that? I think I put it in the chat this morning.
Yeah. What am I watching?
What
the fuck am I watching? And then he took a picture of the frog on the TV.
I got no explanation. I got no explanation for the pus ears. The frog was like, the beast is coming or something. They kept saying the great terrorist or the super terrorist was coming. That was the frog.
Yeah, and that's where I think translations was getting fucked up, because I was like, that doesn't make sense. Why is he a terrorist? It should be like it's called Yakuza Apocalypse. It should be the apocalypse is coming, and this is the apocalypse.
Yakuza vampires.
Yeah, I'm already out of it by now, Pete. Once I got past the prisoners figuring that shit out, I was done. I'm like, I'm not figuring anything else out in this movie.
Too much thinking.
It was just way too much.
That's your problem. Don't think.
And so it was about last night. It was about 11 o'clock. I looked at Jackie and I went, shit, I was supposed to watch the movie. And I wasn't exactly tired. So I was like, let's start it. We got about an hour in, and I was falling asleep. So I was like, I'll finish it in the morning. So Jackie only got 1 hour. She didn't make it to the frog. I had to tell her about the frog
you
this
can sit
morning.
Her down tonight.
She saw the kappa, and she was like, the fuck is that? And I went, guess what? It got weirder. She goes, no.
Uh-huh.
I said, oh, it got a lot weirder after the
barely
after
scratching
the
the surface of the weird that you're about to encounter.
And they kept, I was just like, follow Kojima. I like what you're doing here, because he gets addicted to killing civilians, and basically turns the town into Yakuza vampires. And they're all like on his side. So all the civilians
did it by accident, though. I mean, he was ultimately responsible for it, but he was still learning his vampire powers and what he should and shouldn't do. He attacks somebody, turns him. That guy turns and attacks his wife, turns her, and then they go chase some schoolgirl down the street.
Oh God!
And the look of glee on the wife's face as the husband is sprinting after this poor schoolgirl. She's like, honey, and runs after him, and you hear this slurping in the background.
She starts eating the schoolgirl's leg, like he's in her throat, and she goes down for the vein going up your leg, and I was like, holy fuck. And I was like, oh, so immediately I'm going for other movies I've seen, and I'm like, oh, now he's going to have to fix his fuck up. Mm-hmm. Like, these are all going to turn against him, and it's a vampire infestation. It's going to be 30 Days of Night, but Yakuza style. No, they formed their own fucking gang, and have meetings.
They kind of just keep to themselves. I thought when I first saw this, I thought at one time, like, okay, so there's going to be a big vampire battle at the end, right? The outsiders are going to come in, and the town vampires are going to defend their territory. And
yeah, I was expecting a giant battle. Yeah. I did love the kid.
Yeah,
that we're told that, God, that was so fucking weird.
It's like, what is he doing? Why is he doing
what I thought he was doing then ends up not being what he's doing? It was the weirdest fucking thing. And I know he did it on purpose because this kid's yanking on his hair. And I'm like, oh, he's going to strip his hair bald, or he's going to have like this streak of no flesh. And that'd look cool. No, he just ends up with a crew cut or some shit underneath the hair. It looked like a haircut his mom gave him at some point. But during all of this, we find out that the town is like in the middle of like this recession, they call it, which I'm guessing translation should have been more like depression or something like that. And the kid offers himself to his dad to kill him so his dad can continue living and surviving.
One less mouth to feed.
Yeah. This is where we get the boss is a very benevolent boss. He gives him money, spares the life. And that's where Koji, whatever his name is, Kageyama goes back to this kid, and he's like, I'm going to make you one of me now, basically. And he picked the right dude to be his right-hand man in this movie. Anybody that can wield an axe, I'm usually a fan of. I'm a fan of this kid. This kid's feral in this movie, and I'm here for him.
Yeah, he's feral.
I wanted that movie. That's the movie I wanted to follow. Them versus the Yakuza. Take out the fucking demon shit that goes on later and the kaiju at the end, and leave it just Yakuza versus Yakuza vampires. And I would have been like, this movie's weird, but I'm here for it because it was bloody, it was violent, there's decent fights, there's great gore, but they just go off on this weird fucking fever dream of...
Fever dream is a really good word, yeah.
Of a movie. And you know what? I think it's time for a commercial, and then we'll start the fever dream once we come back.
I'm already in one.
You want a war? Well, you got it right after this.
Do you like horror movies?
Do you like hanging out with your buddy?
Do you like cracking jokes and having a good time?
Do you just like fun?
Well, consider checking out Spoils of Horror. We are an hour-long podcast that comes out every single week.
We're not doing reviews. We're just going to hang out, talk about the movies we love with each other, and hopefully the ones you love too.
Covering everything from the popular, the lost, the forgotten, and the bizarre.
If you're looking for a good podcast and a good time, you're going to want to check us out.
We're on all major podcasting platforms, and you can find us on Instagram and Twitter.
Check it out. We'll see you there.
Sharks of the Corn? Virus Shark? Cocaine Shark? Sharktopus? Yeah, those are all real movies. Join me, Steve Coates, as each week I take a comedic look at the bizarre world of sharksploitation cinema on Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast.
I didn't come here to talk. Lucky for you, they did.
So I want to touch back on something we mentioned a little bit earlier, and that's the rules of the civilian's blood is sweet, Yakuza blood tastes like shit, because it's really, really good plot armor
it sure
for
is.
the end of this movie. Because normally you'd be like, okay, all the vampires are just going to bite the real Yakuzas and the movie ends. No, they don't wanna. And they literally basically go, yeah, we're not going to eat you. And then proceed to fuck with them. I don't know if that's where he got lost in his lore, and then he's like, well, now who are they going to fight? Let's throw in some weird mystical shit. because that's how it feels. It feels like the Kappa, the frog deity, everything is just secondary. My dude Mad Dog does not get the reverence he needs in this movie.
I kind of like that last fight between him and
No!
It was hilarious. It was so funny.
Okay, look. Before we get to what's fucking happening during this, I'm loving our main dude. I know Kajiyama. And he's getting stronger. We've been told he gets stronger. He's getting better with every fight. Mad Dog, in some weird scene, has a fucking shock collar light bulb on his head, and he's vibrating in a basement. And I don't know how I caught it. I don't know how I fucking understood what was going on. Basically, they gave him the boss's blood that they took from the body and were electrifyingly, getting him amped for this fight, because he has the Yakuza tattoo on his back.
Yeah.
He was not Yakuza. He was something else.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
Because there's a little part where also they speak English in this goddamn movie, Pete.
Some people do, yeah.
To the priest and Mad Dog both speak English.
Why?
I don't know. And the people speaking Japanese understand it perfectly.
Yeah. I thought I was going crazy for a minute. I'm like, shit, I know Japanese now. No. They're speaking English.
Please made me watch so many goddamn Japanese movies. I can speak it now.
But they do my Mad Dog. They give him a power up. They give him the super soldier serum for vampires.
Sure did.
And then we get this showdown where Mad Dog and Kajiyama face off, and Mad Dog rips his shirt off, and it shows this kanji tattoo on his back, which looked like a dead dog. Why are dead dogs a thing in this movie, Pete?
What's the dead dog? I'd say only
the fucking frog dude riding a bike has a dead dog in the basket of his fucking bike.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't catch that.
And so Mad Dog, I was like, why not just give him a Mad Dog tattoo? That would have been funny for those that know who he is. But it's like this spirit of a dog Yakuza tattoo. So I'm like, all right. I literally, to myself today, Pete, got to that point and went, okay, this movie fucking blows, but if this fight is anywhere near as good as I think it's about to be, this movie's going to get a pass from me, because these guys are going to kick the shit out of each other. This is going to be an epic martial art, kicking, jumping, flying, blood spitting. Motherfuckers. They punch each other till one gives up.
It's basically like the slap with the tortilla kind of thing.
That's exactly what it is.
See who breaks first?
Who spits blood the furthest out of their mouth. And they punch each other simultaneously.
At the same time. They hit
so all I could, so the only thing I gleaned from that was they're both powered by the boss. So they're using the boss's ability. So it's who is more boss than the other one, I guess. And this goes on for fucking ever.
Yeah, it did go on for a long time.
You ever watch Family Guy? And they love doing the joke where Peter falls down and hurts his knee. And he's like, and you're waiting it to stop. And the moment you think it does, it goes again. That's this fucking fight. And I'm just sitting there going, fuck you. You took away the epic fight that this movie A deserved, B I deserved, and I don't fucking get it. I was so mad. I was so mad. And then Mad Dog got beat, and this guy wins. And then throughout all this is a weird fucking earthquake happening. Kajiyama beat the shit out of Frog Dude and then took the Band-Aid off his belly button, and Frog Dude burst into shining light and evaporated into the ether, only to find out that we land on this hand-painted drawing of Mount Fuji.
Yeah.
And an earthquake happened. So during this fight, an earthquake is happening, and we as the audience get the treat of seeing what's happening during this. Pete, buddy, I've asked for you to do kaiju movies. I've begged. You've gave me 2 now, and they've both been giant middle fingers. So Pete, would you please care to tell everyone what the fuck this kaiju is?
Well, it's the guy in the frog mascot costume. That's breathing fire, stomping around little soldiers, quite literally
miniatures,
little tiny
hand painted miniatures.
You know what it reminded me of? It's Psycho Goreman. At the end, when Psycho Goreman goes nuts and starts the story and everything. That's
Gorman did it better.
Yeah,
Gorman did it better.
Man.
He really did. Yeah.
PG nailed it. This is literally paper mache.
Wasn't even trying to make those beautiful Japanese miniatures. Nope. It's somebody's train set.
And how do we differentiate between the giant kaiju frog monster costume and the little frog monster costume?
Big one's breathing fire.
No, there's something else.
Oh, is there something else?
There's something else. It's wearing a little tiny crown on its head because it's the king kaiju frog. There is a tiny crown on this fucking thing's head.
I love it.
And when the frog fights the guy in it's like Power Rangers, when it's in normal form before Rita Repulsa hit it with the ray and made it really big. So it peels. You find out that the costume is a costume, and he peels it off, and it starts at the mouth. And there's this little port,
the window where you can look,
where you can see. The giant kaiju has the same fucking thing.
Yep.
And it opens the same flap to the same hole, but CG fire comes flying out.
CG fire comes out of it. Yep.
And as soon as the CG fire comes out, it has to pat its own fucking mouth so it doesn't catch on fire. I'm laughing way more than I was when I watched this movie. Because I'm watching this movie going, I fucking hate you. I hate you, Pete, so much. I hate this fucking wheel. I hate this fucking month. I hate clowns. I hate frogs. I hate all this shit.
Oh, shit.
Pete, how did this movie end? Because they don't defeat the kaiju.
No, kaiju's still running around. It's still running around destroying something.
Which is what I'm taking as the apocalypse in Yakuza Apocalypse. But Kojima beats the shit out of, punches Mad Dog. Sorry, doesn't beat the shit out of him. Punches him.
Mad Dog falls over.
Mad Dog falls over. Girl shows back up. I didn't even want to talk about her. She is such a non.
Yep.
Why is she in this movie?
She's easy on the eyes.
Well, she's easy on the eyes. He did rescue her. I swear this guy was trying to make his version of Kung Fu Hustle because she's Lollipop Girl. That's basically what she is, at the end of this. Look, Pete, who did Kung Fu Hustle fight at the end?
Oh, God, I don't remember.
The big guy that acted like a fucking frog. He had the frog power. Who does this guy fight in this fucking movie? He fights a fucking frog.
A frog.
They made Boss look like Landlord's husband. Like, don't tell me this was on accident. Don't tell me that.
I doubt it.
So, hard cut. I don't know why. Hard cut from him beating up the other Mad Dog. No shirt. Hard cut to him having a cloak on.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about why he's wearing a cloak all of a sudden. So he can reveal an actually kind of badass looking vampire.
It's a really badass monster. Yeah, he changes from human to man bat
Yeah,
and
very much Man
pretty,
Bat.
Pretty decent CG. I mean,
I didn't hate it.
It's not gonna win any awards.
No,
don't get me wrong, but the final design as he morphs into this thing with these giant ass
fangs out of his mouth, like
camera only pointing down, and
yes,
his fingers extend. You got these big ass wings. It looks just like Man Bat, only cooler.
No, less fur. Man Bat was brown and fur. This guy's kind of stayed skin tone.
Still human, skinny, sort of. And then he
hisses at the camera.
Yep.
Credits roll.
And done.
Credits
hard ending.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
I love that.
What was this?
Don't think we're not letting Anna talk. Anna has already been like, I'm trying real hard not to be Nate right now, but just nothing nice I can say.
Well, Nate can, like I've said, Nate can just pull shit out of his ass that's relevant to what we're discussing that in a way that I just can't do. That's totally off the wall.
This is off the wall enough. You don't need to be more.
It's like, what else can I throw at it that it has not already thrown at me?
It literally has the kitchen sink, and I swear to God, there's a scene. I swear there was a guy walking around carrying a kitchen sink in the background.
There's so many extras in certain scenes where there's just all sorts of stuff going on in the background. I could catch it all.
So no conclusion to the townspeople turning into vampires.
Nope.
No conclusion of the Yakuza wanting this guy to be part of the Yakuza or the human Yakuza. Okay.
Oh God.
When Kojima's friend whips out a fucking grenade and throws it at Frogman, and Frogman, it lands in front of his feet, and he walks over.
Oh yeah.
Stands on the grenade. And I'm like, oh, look at the balls on this motherfucker. No, Charlie, you're getting ahead of yourself. Launches him up Looney Tunes style as if he's Wile E. Coyote that lit a rocket up in the air and comes down with a karate chop onto Kojima's buddy's head. And all it does is like bend him down, but we're supposed to believe it was the force of 1,000 suns went through this guy's body, and now he's dead.
I really wish his legs would have crinkled like an accordion.
I wish or went into the ground.
That'd make it
bury him down. And then I did like the other guy who flips out 2 grenades, even though he watched what this fucking thing did with grenades. Ran at him, and what we find out is Frog has Psycho Toad powers from Futurama and can mind control you and makes him pause, cross his arms, and blow the fuck up. Pieces of dude everywhere.
That's another lost opportunity. I thought for sure the lower half of his body would have been standing there.
That would have been, yep. I think there's definitely some missed opportunities right there.
Takashi, you totally missed an opportunity.
Totally missed that one. All right. Well, I don't know what to tell y'all. Okay. I don't know, but that's the end of the movie, if you want to call it that.
That's the end. It stops that abruptly.
It's done, and heavy metal Japanese music starts playing. And I went,
good song.
Don't try to win me over now. Okay? Don't try to win me over now. We're done. We're done. Done, Tubi. Thank you. Good night. All right, let's get into the thing.
Yeah.
Leave anything for us?
Just bodies. Body count. Body count. Body count. Body count.
I hated working on this. This was not only was the movie nonsensical, everyone that talks about this movie apparently have the same brain bug, because I got numbers everywhere from 17 to 57 people die in this movie. There is no in between. And I was having trouble going, wait, who does die in this? Because they all turn into fucking vampires.
Yeah, does that count? Yeah.
There's a few Yakuza that die. Boss dies. But I read that one guy went, well, the boss kills a shitload of people in the first part of the movie. Does. And I went, oh, that. So anywhere from 20 to 50, your guess is as good as mine. I'm not going to go back and count. I can't do that. If you want to, I don't recommend you do it. So let's pick our favorite.
Have you ever killed anyone?
Yeah, but they were all bad.
Oh, Anna, did you at least find a kill that you liked in this movie?
Yeah, probably the bosses, actually, because I mean, we didn't mention he died, but he got his head twisted the fuck off and then ripped off. That was shocking. And then to see that head come back to life and basically spill all the lore and bite our main guy. Yeah, I got to go with the bosses. Because then at that point, everything changed. And I was like, vampires? What? And I had hope. That's when I still had hope in this movie.
Well, see, at that point, I've seen other Japanese movies where there's a floating, disembodied head running around. And that's not unusual to me. It's weird, but it's not unusual in this type of movie. Pete knows the movies I'm talking about. You know, there's all kinds of them. But yeah, this movie just got really fucking weird. Pete, what's your favorite kill in Yakuza Apocalypse?
It was going to be the frog getting run over by the truck, because I love me a dummy kill.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you throw a dummy off a cliff, I am on the floor. I love it. This one was a semi-truck with a Gatling gun and bling all over it.
This was what looked like a city garbage truck with lights and RGB and chrome and
lots of chrome.
It looked like it came from LED a rave.
Lights. Or going to
a rave, or is a rave.
Is a rave. Right?
I have no idea.
It's like a Yakuza party bus.
There you go.
Yes,
you party with it's all late night. You see that commercial that runs, hey, go party out with the Yakuza party bus. 1-900-555. You know, all these vampire chicks showing their tits. And then the bumper transforms and 2 giant miniguns come out the front end of it.
Right. So, but if they run over the frog costume, which didn't have anything in it at the time, and drag it, like push it across the pavement. Another lost opportunity was Miike should have had some sort of blood smear under there.
Or the Frogger sound effect from when Frogger got ran over. Exactly.
But Frog didn't die at that point, so I'm going to go back to the boss. I'm going to agree with you, Anna. That was clearly the best kill. Where they yanked the boss's head off. Really,
it is a good one. It is a good one.
Charlie.
Since you've both gone with that one, it's probably the best kill in this, but because I brought it up and I did laugh at it, it's dude that gets blown up by Psychic Frog with the grenades, because a lot of stuff felt very cartoonish. I really started questioning, like, has anyone fucking died in this movie? Like, I really was thinking that, aside from the boss, because old chick's head, pus pours out of it for no goddamn reason. I'm like, so
an axe to the head, and then both of her ears exploded with pus.
but the head, for a moment, I thought the axe was stopped by her head. Like, it didn't kill her, because she's still reacting to the kid. And I'm like, well, did it kill her? No, we didn't even talk about her fucking plan to rebuild the town with the Teletubby babies popping out of the ground, doing this little dance. The fuck is that?
They were like mandrakes from Harry Potter.
They were mandrakes. You're right.
I have no idea what that reference is, but I will nod my head in agreement. They were exactly like mandrakes. No fucking clue what that is. But it's dude holding 2 grenades and gets blown up by the frog. It should have been Mad Dog's death. It should have been an epic fight death, and I didn't get it. It's bullshit. Okay, let's rate this. And in honor of Mad Dog, because he didn't get the send-off he needed, instead of Al Leong's, how many Mad Dogs are we going to give Yakuza Apocalypse? That's the fight at the end. All standing in front of each other, doing the whole, like, getting ready to fight. They put their wrists up against one another. And, again. On and on and on. Oh, God. Anna.
Hello.
How many new alliances are you going to give Yakuza Apocalypse?
So I will more than likely never watch this movie again. I'm sorry, Pete. I love you, but I'm gonna use your way of thinking and give this a 5. Just because I'm thinking of it like somebody out there will like this movie. So somebody will. So
did you read any reviews? There's not.
I've got a really good trash opinion. If you don't have one,
I was gonna have one, but I'm more than happy to let you read it tonight.
You can read them. This movie deserves all the trash.
I mean, it could be. I could probably go a little lower, but I mean, you're an adult. Make your own decision. If you want to watch it, it's on Tubi.
It's free.
Yeah, it's free.
Yeah, sure.
Or come over to my place. I got the DVD.
There you go. $3.
You overpaid.
$3. Charlie, how about you, bud?
I hate that Anna went that high because I didn't want to go that high. This movie doesn't deserve that high.
Yeah, you're right. It probably doesn't.
It's shot beautifully. That is its biggest redeeming quality. It does have fights. They're not great.
Action's pretty good.
It has a good idea.
It's got a good idea. If it had given me the fight I wanted at the end, I probably would have been like 5.5, even a 6. If it had given me what I wanted, it didn't. I was scratching my head. It made me think about shit I didn't want to think about. This movie gets a 2. It's just a 2. I'm sorry. Like
not even a 1. Like a 2.
Oh, a 2's, remember, here, a 2 is worse than 1.
2's worse than a 1, I know.
Yeah, 2's worse than 1, but it's not negative Terrifier. So you at least got a couple up on that one. But I don't even know who to recommend this to, because people that like kaiju movies aren't really going to be into this, because they're going to be like, the fuck is this?
Where's the kaiju?
People that like Kung Fu Hustle are going to be like, this is nothing like Kung. And you're going, yeah, you're right. I don't know I have to exclude Pete in my categories. Pete over here, I don't know who's going to love this movie. Bring Pete back over.
You know what? Spoils of Horror, if you're listening, this is a great movie for y'all to cover.
You know what?
I would love to hear what
they would have a blast with this. So.
I want to hear how much Steven loves this and how much Leo fucking hates it.
Yeah.
That's what my guess is right now on that, because they don't give it numbers, but you'll know in the tone of their voices what they rank this movie,
where they land on the spectrum.
That's exactly it. All right, Pete, you brought this. You put it on the fucking wheel. What are you ranking?
He understood the assignment as well.
I don't think anyone did. I don't think it doesn't mean we have to be painful. The Wheel of Pain was just a name.
Why is it called the Wheel of Pain then?
It was just a name. It just meant you can make something you love.
I take
put
things
it on there.
literal, Charlie.
Literally.
No, you're just saying that because last week.
The Wheel of Beauty. That'd be different.
I'm saying it because of both weeks. That's why I'm saying it.
Charlie, he's already fed up.
Pete, rate this thing.
The first time I watched this, I was gobsmacked. I'm like, what? Just like you guys, what the fuck am I watching? Second time I watched it, I said, what the fuck am I watching? I can't in good consciousness give it any higher than a 5 because you're an adult. Watch it or don't. It is weird. It is wacky. It is it's beautifully shot. I think it's well acted. I think the gore and the special effects for what it is are all excellent. There's no expense spared.
I have to agree. That's the bitch of it. I have to agree with that.
It's a really well done movie. What's going on with the story, man? Watch a John Waters movie. I mean, what the fuck's going on with those films?
Takashi Miike doesn't even know what the fuck's going on.
No. So if you understand what you're getting into to watch a Takashi Miike film, I think you should watch it because it is a lot of fun and it's ridiculous and you will laugh your balls off as long as you don't think too hard about it. but I'm going to go 5 because you're an adult. Try it out. This adult watched it. So
that adult made two other adults watch it. 3 technically. She only made it halfway. I saved her, but okay.
It's a movie.
All right. Well, as we said, Anna's going to do the honors of our trash opinion tonight. So here we go.
I'm the trash man. I come out, I throw trash all over the ring, and then I start eating garbage. And then I pick up the trash can and I smash the guy on the head.
Oh, that's going to be a disaster.
Okay, this one is from July 19th, 2016.
Oh,
this person gave it a 1 out of 10. Run from this like the plague. When I started watching, the only information I knew about it was the basic plot I read here, which seemed interesting from an action movie point at least, and it had a 5.5, which wasn't that bad also. Boy, was I wrong. The story does not make sense for the first 10 minutes or so. After that, it turns into an insufferable 1.5 hour plus of stupid dialogue, ridiculous characters, and nonsense scenes. I seriously can't pick one single good thing about it once it starts sinking. I managed to watch the whole movie. Don't really know why, but at least I can write this review to warn others not to make the same error. You're probably thinking, it can't be that bad. And for those who are thinking that, this is my first review on this site, and I took the time to come and write it because it really is an awful movie. The worst part is that this could have been a good movie if they didn't screw every single part of it. I even stopped to see if this was based on an anime or something because that could justify some of the ridiculousness of it. Do yourself a favor and delete this movie from your history. I've seen low budget shorts with more quality. Now I'll go wash my eyes and pretend I've never seen this mess.
Dude's out here doing the Lord's work, trying to warn people. I should have read the reviews, damn it. I should have read the review.
It was shot really well, man. It was shot well.
It was, but I don't disagree with this person at all.
But they said like they had not one good thing to say about the movie.
Oh, okay, I think it is well shot.
Well shot.
It is well shot. And what you mentioned, the gore, the practical stuff, the acting, like even in the moments that aren't silly, the acting was great. There are good things there. I'm even here for the Yakuza vampire story. But everything else that came because of that one plot point was shit. And then I sunk after that. Yeah. Start over.
Take all the mystical shit. Change Van Helsing a little bit to just be another Yakuza boss. Then have Mad Dog get turned into another Yakuza vampire. Give him the same thing where he drank the blood. And then give me a good fucking fight. And then have Yakuza versus Yakuza people, vampires. That'd have been an awesome movie. All the other shit just it takes you completely out of it. That's not a trash opinion. I actually agree with that opinion on there. So
we're the trash men this week, Charlie.
I don't disagree with any of this.
And that's the thing. Pete's over here going like, I can't defend this shit. You watched the movie too.
And Pete, that's why I love you, because you'll bring the craziest shit and you're just like, I'm not here to defend it. I'm just here to bask in the crazy.
I do enjoy this because of the insanity. I'm like, what?
I think I have a limit on my insanity that I enjoy.
And I truly think there are people out there, even listeners, that will feel the same way Pete does. Like, I'm just at least here for the craziness of it.
I got one or two that are even weirder than this, and I don't feel comfortable showing them to anyone.
I'm scared.
Keep them in your closet, Pete.
Not on the wheel.
They're not streaming. They're in my closet.
Pete, I know it's June, but keep them in the closet. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about that.
They'll stay there. Ooh, do I have something fun for next February?
I think we should. Dustin brought something up, and I got thinking about it. I'm like, we should just put a twist on the month of Pete and give him the wheel so he could just make a giant list of movies that are batshit insane. Let the wheel decide to where even Pete doesn't know how insane it's about.
That would be fun.
I don't mind that. I think that's fucking
I'm telling you.
I follow a couple people on Instagram. Like, they do that. They're like avid readers, and their Tubi read list is huge. So they make it like a fun reel, for Instagram. And they're like, I'm going to let the wheel pick. And then they react to it. That would be fun.
I'm not against that at all.
We may think about that because I'm pretty sure I'm retiring the Wheel of Pain after this year.
No, never.
I'm going to rename it The Wheel of Slight Annoyance, and just so people understand.
Wheel of Pain is a perfect name.
Oh, I love it.
My pain was because the Highlander 2, which was fucking fun. I don't know how I went from Highlander 2 to this shit. I don't understand. Y'all are going to get to my picks and go, oh, Charlie was actually nice.
Charlie was nice. I was pretty nice too with my other picks. I just hit the lottery right off the jump.
You did
with Terrifier. I did.
Oh God, somebody hit the lottery. Something. Ugh. All right. Well, speaking of the Wheel of Pain, once again, we will be spinning the wheel after this episode, so you will find out. Please make sure you are following us over on Instagram at Give Me Back My Action Movies and Give Me Back My Horror Movies, as well as Nerd at the Movies, which is our very own Scream Queen Anna's. Woo, that's a tongue twister.
Scream
Queen. Oh God, that was worse.
That was worse. It really was.
I don't even want to edit it because I don't want to edit this.
Quit while you're ahead, please.
Anyway, go check all three of us out on Instagram. Good Beer Bad Movies on there too, once a month. I love Pete. Pete looks at me like, you son of a bitch. Why do you even bring it up anymore? But you will see the videos. Anna's been dropping them on Friday. So it gives you the weekend if you want to watch these movies. Yeah. You don't want to watch these movies.
Don't. Watch it or don't.
I can't in good conscience tell you to watch any of these so far. But you will find out. And so next week will be our second horror pick for Month of Chaos, Wheel of Slight Discomfort. I'm rebranding it. I don't care what anyone says. I'm totally.
We don't need a rebrand. We do not.
Discomfort.
mild discomfort. I got you, Pete. Thank you. Yeah. It's like that genie. You got to worry about how you worded it. It's like, well, Terrifier was discomfort, wasn't it? Like, son of a bitch, it was. So if you want to keep up with the chaos, follow us everywhere else. We're on Facebook, Instagram. Anna, you're just on those too, ain't you? You're not on TikTok or anything like that.
Yeah, no, I don't do none of that.
Yeah, I'm off X. I got tired of it, so I ditched it. So follow us over there. We got a pretty good following. Instagram's the big one to be checking in on us. And we are in countdown mode. While this may be the month of chaos, this is rolling into my favorite time of year. It's like my Christmas. Only in July. It is month of action.
Let's go.
That is steam rolling towards us. Pete, I was nice to you this month of action, sir.
Dude,
I was nice
y'all,
to you.
I'm going to tell you right now. Tell you right now, y'all. Charlie picked fucking bangers. I have a lot of homework to do.
Pete, you said you saw it. I'm wondering, did you scroll all the way up and see Give Me Backs, or did you see B Actions?
I don't remember.
Exactly. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it offline.
Disregard B Actions. Go up and look at what he picked.
Yeah, you don't have to do
us.
those. The other one.
Bangers.
All right. We will be back next week. Thank you guys for listening, and more chaos will ensue, I guess. Here we go.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.